What up, bros and hoes, peeps and creeps? This is Bodala coming to you live from the Overdome. This is my second part of my review of The Witcher 2: Assassins of Kings. Um, so yeah, we left off with our girlfriend Triss Marigold. Now I'm remembering. Triss, she gets kidnapped by Letho and teleported to someplace. Um, and Letho's kind of all like, "Grr, grr, 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 grr," and he's a big ass dude. And that's pretty much where we left off. So yeah, uh, the thing is that at this point you have to leave, and you leave and you go to some other place. I completely forget what it's called. Um, but excuse me, this other place. You start off as this king, and this is a really fucking annoying part of the game. When you're this king, you're King Henslet or whatever his face is. And you're badass, and but you're good with a sword, and so you're supposed to meet up with this girl Saskia, who's a dragon slayer. Um, and so you got your posse, and you have Sheila, which what the fuck is she doing there? Um, and I forgot to mention in the last one, I'm just gonna veer off to the side here. There's this hilarious quest before where you talk to Vess, who is Vernon Roche's like second in command, um, and the whole time Vess is it's coming off as a little fishy. Vess gets kidnapped all the time. She's always kind of with the enemy. Um, and it gets really fishy. Like the first time though, it's like Vess is really um she's really like sincere. Um Afterwards it starts to get a little bit fishy as to what's going on. Um and I'll talk about that later, but she gets kidnapped um later. But the hilarious quest is when you're with Vess, you're with all of Roche's men, and you have a drinking party, and then you wake up and you have to find out what the hell happened. You have a tattoo of a naked lady on your neck, and all your stuff is gone. You're in your underwear. You're just running around, and it's really funny. So I suggest doing that quest. You just got to go into the barracks. But yeah, it's really funny when you find out what you did. You ended up paying a hooker, and she's like, "Hey, let's get on with this," and you're like, "No, wench," and then you hop on her back, and you're like, "Take me to the boat, take me to the docks," and then you're like, "Mush, mush," and it's funny. Sorry, there's a hair. There's another. Okay, and it's just really funny. Um, yeah, some of these quests are really crude and really hilarious. Um, but anyways, and then on to when she gets kidnapped. She gets kidnapped by the leader of the area who betrays you. Oh, shocker, betrays you. Even after you kill the Cayenne thingy. Um, and he betrayed you. Um, and he somehow got a hold of her and had her kind of just chained up. And it was a really bondage-ish scene. It was really kind of graphic and gross. And I don't know what he does, but it's really creepy. I think he like sniffs her boobs or something weird. I don't know. It's just And then all of a sudden, in the middle of like rescuing her, she's like, "We gotta save this pregnant lady," and you're like, "Where's the pregnant lady?" And then she's like, "Oh crap, her water broke." It's like, what? What is this even doing in this part of the game? I don't get it. Is this like a prelude to, oh, this guy is gonna be the new Witcher? Um, because she was an elf or a witch or something, and she got impregnated by that guy who was taking sex slaves. Cause of course, um, why not? Uh, but yeah, anyways, so that's that. You end up in this new area. You start off as the king. You talk to Saskia, the dragon slayer, and you're like, "Oh, hey, you want to fight? You want to fight? Huh? 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 Huh?" And then she's all like, "Yeah, I'm gonna defend my honor," blah blah blah. Because every single depiction of women in media and in video games has to be, yeah, we're just as good as men. We get it, we get it, we accept that. You don't have to like push it and like beat it to death, uh, with like a repetition, bludgeon of swords. Like, seriously, like, she didn't, like, we get it. She killed a dragon. That's enough for us to say, oh, this girl's a badass. But no, she has to keep going with it. Um, and so then you end up, hurting her. Um, and then she's like, no, stop. And then, well, no, she doesn't say that. What she does is you're about to kill her, and then she just pulls like a playing possum move on you and goes, watch out, oh, and just like snaps you in the eye with her sword. Um, and then you get all mad, and then a monk comes and you kill the monk for no fucking reason. Um, he's like, please stop this madness. Look, you're hurt, she's hurt. And he's like, and he just smashes his head into a wall and kills him. And this wall just so happened to be a wall of reminiscent of a curse. So then he unlocks a curse, and a bunch of undead start walking around. Because why not have a zombie part of the game? Everyone else does. Um, so then, so then this is where you come in, and you're about to enter a kingdom, and they're like, you can't enter a kingdom, you're the Kingslayer, because everyone thinks you killed the king still, even though your name's been cleared by Vernon Roche. Everyone else still thinks you're Kingslayer. Um, so then, all of a sudden, he's just like, whoa, 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 what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And he's like, hey, put your weapon down. Because I don't know, he's holding a weapon or something. Because he has this amulet that senses magic, or danger. Usually both. Uh, and then all of a sudden he's like, whoa, something's going on. Something's going to attack. And then he looks up into the mountains and he sees this giant like orb of like death and mist, and like he's just like, well, I gotta get out of here. And so here's what happens. He runs in the opposite direction, and he jumps and he just soars into the fucking sky. That is what happens. That is seriously what happens. And I'm just like, why couldn't he have done that earlier? like in any situation, why couldn't he have just done that? So that's what he does, and he ends up there, and he fights the undead. He saves the king's life, which he does on multiple occasions. And then what you got to do is you got to clear this curse, which is very tedious, and it takes forever. Um, and meanwhile, you're working with this guy named gosh, what the heck's his name? It's like Moth Death or something like that. I don't know. Um, it's some weird warlock who you find out later is gay, and he puts on makeup because that's a necessary part of the game, to understand that. And so then you end up working for him, and everything's a fucking conspiracy. Everything's a conspiracy. This is like the paranoid person's nightmare. Everybody's plotting against the king, or they're doing something in relation to a plot against the king. And you have to do all these quests, one of which involves telling a hooker, I want you to smile like the gates of paradise, or something like that. And she's like, okay, come on in. And then she opens a trap door, and you're in a organization that's against the king. It's so weird. It's so weird. Um, but then you save the king, and here's the biggest dick move. What you do is you save the king, and then you're just out cold, right? Because you've done all this crap, and then everything comes crashing down. You're out cold for 3 days straight, right? And then you have to go meet, you end up meeting Vernon Roche, who for me was the leader of the conspiracy against the king. I'm sure it's Yorvith if you choose him. I think that makes more sense than Roche, because Roche is so against killing kings. so against killing kings. I don't know why he's so okay with Henselt. Um, but yeah, it turned out like prior to that, his men had been killed, and it had been someone's fault. I forget whose. I think it was back before, and it was that leader of that one town's fault. But it might have been a different one. Anyways, he was really sad about it. And now, what happens now is you talking to Roche, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm wondering what you're doing here." And then everyone's like, "Wait, it's forfeit. How does he know about it?" And he's like, "I don't know. How do you know about it?" It's like a hooker told me, and they're like, "Uh-oh." It's because everyone loves their hookers. So, so, so all of these terrified looks come about, and then he's just like, "Well, we gotta go talk and see what's happened." And then you go talk to some person, one of the hookers, and say, "Hey, we're all Roche's men." And she's all like, "Well, didn't you hear? There's a banquet being held for them." And it's just like, "Oh God, no, no." Because Roche has been through the worst shit ever. And so you go into the town, it's just a massacre. Just all of your men just lying about on the ground, just dead. Um, and you go into the place where they were all called to the banquet. Guess who's there, completely alive and well? Vess. She's like, "I pleaded to stay alive and they spared me." Bullshit. You did something. And guess what happens after that? Okay, so you're mad, and all the guys are all Vernon's men are dead. Um, and he's just livid about it. He's like, "Bitch is gonna die tonight. Somebody's gonna die. Someone gonna die." And he's just so angry. He's so angry that he, in fact, once you kill all the guards that were supposed to keep you from saving them, he hangs all of them individually. Um, and it's pretty bad. He's really bad when he's angry. Um, but you're there for him because you're his friend. But anyways, Vess is there, and he's like, "Good thing you're okay." And I'm just like, "Roche, you idiot." And then, so that happens, and then Vess is just gone. She left. I don't know what happened to her. She's gone. She disappeared from the whole fucking game. She's just gone. Uh, you never see her again, ever, 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 ever. So yeah, some shit went down. um, kind of suspicious. Um, and so then, yeah, Roche is really mad and he's out for blood against every single person involved, which is that warlock person and the king. And he wants to kill both of them. And so you get an achievement. I would suggest stopping him from killing the king, for sure. Stop him. Stop him. I didn't stop him. I was like, "You deserve to kill this guy. This guy's a dick." But the whole game is against killing kings. So I made an idiot move. Um, so like later, yeah, he kills him. He just straight up murders him. He's like, "Look into my eyes." And he's just like, "Look, what are you gonna do, huh? You gonna kill a king? You can't just get away with killing a king. Look into my eyes." And he's like, "What do you want?" And then he just stabs him right in the stomach. And he's just like, "Now you know the pain I feel." And he's just like, "Ah." It's so terrible. But I loved it at the same time. Um, and I just Roche was my boy. Roche was my boy. So anyways, yeah, this is gonna have to be a three-part story. Uh, so yeah, so that was that was interesting. Um, and so it skips to you having to try and find that one warlock who escaped, who does necromancy, which is just like red flag. I like corpses. um, it's just he's just the weirdest of people, and the way Roche kills him is totally uncalled for. Because he was the one who directly resulted in the death of all his men, which Roche has lost everything at this point, let's be honest. I mean, his parents were never really there for him. He was the son of some lady who got killed as soon as he was born. He was raised pretty much on the streets by himself. Um, and then he ended up being a member of the Blue Stripes, this decorated soldier. And then all of his men, all of his friends, his comrades, everyone dead. And the king he served was already dead. Um, I mean, he's just lost it at this point. The way he kills the warlock guys, he cuts his balls off, which is just so excruciating to watch. You don't see, like, it's not like you see anything, but you can. It's his face. It's the guy's face that really you're just like, oh no, and then he kills him immediately after that because that was necessary, and this was all to just save a girl from a kidnapping. That was the whole point. But then Roche is like, I'm gonna do all of this crap because I'm tough. And it's like, don't do that. That's too much. Just kill the guy. We can leave. Like, seriously, you don't have to torture him. We're saving a kidnapped girl here. It's not like we have all the time in the world. Let's go. Let's go. Wrap it up. Um, so yeah, and then we save the kidnapped girl, who is the rightful heir to the throne. Um, and we give her to someone who we think will be a good king, uh, which is a choice too. You can decide not to do that. I don't know what would happen if you did, um, but yeah. Anyways, um, actually, I'm probably gonna wrap up the story here. You end up like that's in the third part, and you end up finding Triss at the very end. You end up finding Sheila. You have the option to kill her or not. You end up fighting a dragon who's the last dragon ever. You either let it die or let it suffer and die. So that sucks. You end up finding Letho, and here's the biggest slap to the face. You can straight up just say, "Go, leave," and then he'll leave, and that's the end of the game. That's it. That's it's over. And even he's just like that, just like that. It's not really okay. Bye, and then like he just leaves, right? And it's weird. And then you see the ending that you got, and it's kind of silly because your decisions, you have no idea the ramifications of your decisions. And there are all these things you have to do to either save Roche, Yorveth, or Saskia even. Save Saskia if you have the chance. Please, save her. Because that's a huge game changer. So anyways, yeah, that's The Witcher 2. In terms of its storyline, it's a really intricate story, and I would recommend it for its story alone, because it's really cool. And I shall see you on the other side with the gameplay elements. Like and favorite, subscribe if you enjoyed. This is Bodala signing out.